Everybody, so welcome back to Jim Bob's Garden. Alright, so I'm back. We took a long trip. It was a couple weeks where we took off and went all the way to Colorado. It was nice. I mean, you know, it was for a funeral, but we did get to meet a lot of family and talk a lot. And I got to talk with my Uncle Ken. Hey, Uncle Ken, if you're watching, just want to say hey. And I want to tell you, I've always respected the fact that you were able to grow a garden in Colorado Springs, which is a really tough place to try and grow food. But you managed quite well for years and years and years. And I've always kind of looked up to that. You know, that's an ability that a lot of people just don't have. But at any rate, so like I said, I'm back, and I wanted to do a video to show that, and then to talk about some of the things that are happening right now as I pull some weeds. As you can see, us being gone for 2 weeks and then coming back, and we were not feeling well at all, as happens a lot when you go traveling. So really haven't had the ability or the desire to get out into the garden like I really should have. As a result, you can see I have some incredible weeds to get rid of. So I'm in the process of cleaning up from basically 2.5 weeks of lack of attention. I'm gonna get things cleaned up, and then I'm going to try and get some mulch put down, which I've already mowed once, but I'm working on getting some more compost. So that went into the compost bin, and the rest of it's going to go into mulching. Can't really see it real well from where you're seeing me, but over here I mulched it in very well, and the weeds are just so much less. I mean, it's just amazing how much better it is with some mulch down. All right, it really does a number. Really helps out a lot in keeping your weeds down, keeping the soil moist, and just overall improving your garden. Cannot tell you how much better life is with a bit of mulch. All right. As you can see, I mean, it's I don't know, 9 o'clock. So I've still got a bit of shade, and I'm going to be working for a little while here until I basically lose all my shade, because it is hot, man. I mean, we're talking, they're predicting, I think 96, 97, but it was 96 yesterday. It's supposed to be hotter today, so we're probably looking at closer to 98. And you know, with 80-90% humidity, it feels like it's going to be somewhere up and around 108 or some incredible amount. So I'm not going to want to be out here, which I got to admit is part of the reason why I have not been out here. I didn't come out yesterday because it was just so hot. So I'm really trying to get some stuff going on in the mornings. Give me about an hour or two a day of getting some things done, but I got to start getting this back into shape. I did get a little bit of it cleared out the other day, which I did not do a video, and I should have. But anyway, highly recommend some mulch. But really, the subject I want to talk about today is about immigration. All right, you're like, oh my God, here we go, politics. Well, I'm trying not to be political. I really am. But one of the things we, as gardeners, and as people who like to eat food, as we all do, is that this current immigration system, regardless of your politics and things, is going to mean that a lot of the labor force that does the picking of these vegetables, particularly in states like here in Florida and in states like California, where a lot of our produce comes from, both. And I'm talking fresh veggies. I'm not talking, you know, like wheat and things like that. I'm talking primarily fresh vegetables that you can get at the store. It is reliant heavily upon immigrant labor. Now, whether that's good or that's bad, that's a whole nother subject, but it is what it is. All right, and if they come through and arrest and deport all of this labor, that means if you want fresh vegetables, you're going to have to grow them yourself. Another really great reason to grow your own garden, all right, is you never know what the political climate and various other uncontrollable, from your perspective at least, world events or nation events are going to do to your supply of food. Okay, I mean, you just don't know. You really don't, and it's really hard to tell ahead of time how these things are going to work out and shape up and change overall the ability for you to get fresh food. All right, so it's another fantastic reason for growing your own garden, because then you're way more self-reliant. You're way more able to provide for yourself and your family. All right, bottom line. I mean, it really is all about that. I mean, yeah, the food tastes better. It's a lot cheaper. But you also are the one in control of your food supply. All right, now I'm not a prepper. I've never been a prepper. I'm not a homesteader. I'm just a guy who grows a garden and likes to talk. So I get on here and enjoy talking to y'all, even though you can't talk back. Well, you can in the comments. That's really the major concern right now, is that if we deport illegal immigrants to the point that they're talking about doing, I mean, you literally are going to lose your workforce for picking vegetables. I mean, you can't make a machine that can go out and tell, well, I guess you could theoretically in the future with some sort of AI robot, I don't know. But it's really difficult, I would assume, to make something that can go out and tell when a pepper is ripe, to tell when to pick what. And then, of course, you also have to deal with the other inputs that come from food that is grown somewhere else and shipped to you. Is one, just that, it has to be shipped. So you're not getting the freshest produce. You're getting, last week's fresh produce or the week before. So sometimes they don't last as long as what you'll find if you grow your own. And they're never going to taste as good, because, it's just like camping. If you ever gone camping, camping food always tastes better. Why? Because you had to work harder at it. All right, I think. Because the atmosphere and the fact that, you're out there doing it yourself. But this is a serious issue and concern. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can still buy canned vegetables, with all that comes with that. But obviously it's so much better to grow your own, okay? And it's a lot more reliable as well, because you know what you got in the garden. You know what you're going to be able to put on your table. Whereas when you're relying on somebody else, things can happen, like immigration, for example, that could detrimentally affect your food supply. All right? That's why self-reliance, at least to a certain extent, is really a great thing in today's world, and anytime. I mean, that's basically, in my opinion, an anytime thing. All right. So that's a great reason to garden. Now, if you're in Florida right now and you're trying to grow a garden and you're like me and you like to sleep in, I highly recommend changing your schedule. All right, like I've had to do. I mean, I'm up a lot earlier. Like I woke up at 7 today, which is just unheard of for an old retired fart like me, to get up at that hour of the day. But it really has become a necessity if I want to come out here and garden without frying. All right. Now, speaking of frying, if you're out gardening, make sure you have some water. Make sure that you either have some shade or wear a hat, or in some way or another are able to protect yourself from the heat, because the heat can literally kill you. All right. And that's not just talk. That's real. Heat stroke is a real thing, and even heat exhaustion can be a huge pain. You can see that I'm actually still making tomatoes. I got to get in here and harvest what I can of these, even though my Florida weave has really gone to pot. It really has not worked out like I wanted it to. I do not like this. I will not do this again. It makes it real difficult. Though I gotta say, the drooping of the plants on the sides has really protected some of, like my eggplant here is doing a lot better probably than it would have in other circumstances. I really don't like it. I much prefer what I call the Florida twist, which, you know, if you want to look back at a video, if I think about it, I'll try and link that video right here. It shows my preferred method of actually supporting your tomatoes. But check it out. Is that lacewing? All right. Predator bugs. Predator bugs are nice. They kill the bad bugs. But yeah, so I got to get in here. I got to get some work done. I don't want to keep you all day, but I want to tell you that you need to start really looking at growing a garden if you have the capability to do so. If things continue to go as they are right now, more than likely it's going to kind of be up to you to provide your own fresh produce. All right. I don't see any way around it. I'll be honest with you. I think that, you know, with what's going on and the way it's looking right now, like it's going to become a necessity here real soon for you to at least supplement your food supply with a fresh garden. Now, is this an emergency? No, that's not what I'm talking about. There's going to be plenty of canned foods. There's going to be plenty of other foods that are being provided that can be harvested with machinery, which makes the labor cost a lot less and makes labor less necessary. But for anything, you know, like if you want fresh lettuce, or if you want fresh, you know, peppers and tomatoes and things of that nature, it's going to be more expensive. They're probably going to have to come from overseas, and the supply is probably going to be diminished. And, you know, with less supply comes more cost, and so on. So, I mean, that's a problem. And, you know, everybody's talking about, well, you know, you can always get it from other countries, but a lot of the other countries are down south in South America, and they're in the middle of winter right now. And we're in the middle of summer. There are some other options. There are some, you know, hydroponic systems out there, and you know, city type gardens where they grow in buildings. Like we have a really neat one down in Atlantic Beach. I still been meaning to go visit. I would love to go check that out. But I've got this to do, and then I've got some repotting I want to do. Potting up some plants and getting them ready. And then it's going to be time to start thinking about your fall garden. All right. What am I going to plant for my fall garden? And of course, you know, with that, you got to think about the issues that I just mentioned when it comes time to plant your fall garden. What am I going to want? What am I going to need? And what am I going to be able to get a hold of if I can't grow it? All right. So that's, you know, some things to be given some pretty serious thought to, and we'll cover a little bit more of that as we go along here over the next few months. But August seems to me like it's the best time to start your plants for the fall garden. You're going to be looking at high temperatures for a while yet, but we can get them started. You can either start them inside, or you can start them in a shady spot in your garden, in trays and so on, so that if it gets really nuclear hot, you can always bring them in, or put them in another, you know, spot that has got a little more protection and a lot more shade. But either way, I mean, it's time. It's time to start. All right. Well, I'm sorry, it's not quite time. I'm looking at August 1st. is what I'm looking at for starting the fall garden stuff is August, and we'll talk more about that when I talk about the what to plant in August video. But you know, I mean, it's going to be all the usual suspects. We're looking at, you know, lettuce and beets and onions and all kinds of things like that that need to get started soon here in Florida, so that you can be looking at a better harvest. Like this past year, all my onions were small, and that's, I'm pretty sure, because I did not get them planted early enough for them to actually achieve full growth. And then some other issues, like I planted them a little too close. I didn't thin them as soon as I should have. I did not fertilize as much as I would have had I paid a little more attention. So that also impacted my growth. And then there were some times where I just didn't get out as much as I should have. All right? So we're going to do better this year. And that's really what it's all about. You learn from past seasons, and you apply those lessons to the future, and hopefully become more successful as you go along. Like my Uncle Ken, who, like I said, managed to grow a good garden. I mean, and I don't know how much. I didn't live with him or spend a huge amount of time with my aunt and uncle. But I know that they were pretty successful with keeping food on the table that came from the garden. And you can be too. A little bit of planning, a little bit of elbow grease, and some forethought, you too can be very successful in the garden. Now, with that being said, I'm going to put some serious work in. So I really can't spend all my time talking to you. I don't, again, mean to get political, but world events, being what world events are, I mean, it's just a fact of life that what goes on around you is going to affect you regardless of your political opinions or motivations. You know, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, I don't really care. I mean, I think everybody has value. I'm way more independent. I look at the person, not the party, but that's just me. But world events are going to affect your life. I mean, it's just part of it. But I will say, you know, I've told people for years that it really doesn't matter. Politics is not going to impact your day-to-day life for the most part. However, that seems to be changing. You know, I think that politics are affecting us more closely and more often than ever in the past. Yeah. But grow a garden. Grow yourself a garden. You'll never look back. It'll improve your life. And you know, I mean, you can't beat this, man. I'm out in the shade. It's going to get hot, but I'm going to spend some time out here, get a little bit of exercise, get some things cleaned up, get the garden better, and I'm going to be able to come out here and gather, you know, the fruits and vegetables that are the product of my labor. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Do me a favor, give me a like and a subscribe, and let me know what you think. But most importantly, grow something. Get something grown in your backyard, and you'll thank yourself. I guarantee it. All right, y'all come back and see me.